Hello, my paper peeps. Today I will share with you 3 scrapbook journal tags you will want to make this year. Number 1, I call this my Simple Elegance tag. I was inspired to create this tag design when last year I created the video called Free Scrapbook Supplies to Use in Your Crafting. Well, this tag was actually inspired by the packaging that my stamps came in. And every day I read my Bible in the morning, I see this tag and it's a thing of beauty. And the fact that I created it out of product packaging just blows my mind. And so I felt like I needed to recreate this for you so you can enjoy this just as much as I do. And you can go to the description box below at the end of this video to download this free printable. But before you do that, watch this video to the end because I want to show you how to craft this tag with the additional embellishments along with how to create these other tabs using different techniques. Now you have to remember Actually, all companies market their products and spend thousands of dollars designing the packaging that your products come in. And so if you're like me, I just look at everything, whether it's packaging from my scrapbook supplies or magazines or anything around me as an opportunity for me to use or reuse in my crafting. Now here, instead of ribbon, I like to use craft string. And if you've gotten a chance to watch any of my other videos, I love using this knotting effect. I almost call this my climbing rope effect. It actually reminds me of my daughter at gymnastics, how she climbs 20 feet in the air. And the only thing that keeps her from falling are these knots. So yeah, I call this my climbing rope effect. Now you can use eyelets or grommets like these, preferably the larger one with this tag, if you want to improve the integrity of the tag. But in this case, it's not necessary because I like to use these acrylic domes to add a 3-dimensional aspect to the tag. I'll put a link to these really neat acrylic domes in the description box below. These domes are 1 inch in diameter, so you'll need a 1-inch punch or die to cut these circular images. And all these images are 1 inch in diameter. Now, if you are familiar with my paper lines, I love these acrylic domes, and all my paper lines have this 1-inch image just so that you can use these domes. So if you're wondering what those circle images are in all my other paper lines, that's exactly what it's there for. If there's any scrapbook tool I can't live without, it's actually this 1-inch circle punch. Reason being is I use it all the time, and yeah, like I said, I use it to punch out these little circle images. So what you want to do now is adhere these images to the tag and then add the dome. You can try using Glossy Accents too if you want the same effect. And you can see in this one tag, I used Glossy Accents and I actually achieved the same effect. So go ahead and use that if you don't want to purchase the acrylic domes. You can layer the other tags on the back side to make a thicker tag or print these images out on 110-pound cardstock. I used 65 pounds, which I find is still a little flimsy if I were just to keep this tag as a single sheet. So if you only have the 65-pound cardstock, then you probably want to layer up these tags, especially if you're using them as bookmarks or gift tags. If you're new to my channel, my name is Christine, and I am a fanatic when it comes to adding tags and tabs to my scrapbook journals. I love embellishing my journals on the inside, but have become addicted to having these tabs stick out of the top. I think this passion for tabs spawned out of the realization that my journals could not handle the bulk embellishing I crave so much. So I needed to flex that creative muscle in other areas of my journals, and I thought this was the perfect place to do it. I believe it's like a foreshadow of what to expect when you open up the journal, and I also like a little bit of bling on the book. Number 2, I call this my movable tag. Now these tags are inspired by my paper line, the Botanicals, and there's a compilation of YouTube tutorials on how to craft this DIY journal from my paper line. If you like this aesthetic and want to try creating this no-sew bound journal that has these great art pages you can adhere ephemera or other pages to, or even like stamp with your favorite stamps, then I'll put a link to those videos at the end of this video and you can check that out there. It's a great and fun project to do. So this tab is really simple. All you have to do is use magnets to create this movable tag. In some of my previous videos, I used magnetic strips to create the tab, but in all honesty, they don't hold very well. I recommend you purchase these magnetic pieces. I purchased these online and I found them to be exactly what these tabs needed. Now, there is a technique to placing these. Be sure you know which side to adhere to your pages. The best way to do that is to line up the opposite poles, the north and south, to one another, which are the sides that attract each other. Then separate the two and secure the other sides to the paper like this. Then I secure the magnets with double-sided adhesive. Now in the paper line, I forgot to add what I call my craft buddies, which are extra sheets of decorative paper to line the inside of the magnet. In the download, you'll see an extra sheet of colored cardstock, so you can use that as your magnet liner. Now, from one of my favorite crafters, when she does tabs like this, she actually distress inks the insides of the paper, because apparently the white cardstock shines through on the edges, and if you really like that seamless look, then I recommend that you ink the insides of the paper. I then use a little bit of glue around the edges to secure the rest of the paper and trim any areas that don't line up. Number 3, I call this my paper clip tab. Now I have showcased this technique several times in my videos, and I do that for a reason. If you're anything like me, I actually forget how to make these. So here it is again. These tabs are from my blush collection, which is a scrapbook journal in a box. I love this project. It's a modern take on scrapbook journaling. They are recipe card-like journal pages that fit perfectly in this acrylic recipe box. The reason why this one is by far one of my favorite journals is because my daughter can journal alongside me. I specifically created recipe or cards that are a bit more age appropriate, and she loves it. It's something we do on a weekly basis. In the evening before bed, about twice a week, we light a candle in her room and read a devotional. This year we're doing this Mommy and Me devotional, and then we write down what we think it's saying to us and follow it up with a prayer. It's a great way to connect, discuss life issues, and we've really enjoyed this process. This journal also comes with postcards that you can send to anyone that is placed on your heart. I love it because we'll spend the time writing cards to those we love, and in this day and age, honestly, I think we need those moments of intentionality like this. Life is so busy, and now I have found a way to slow it down a bit, especially with my children. They are growing so fast. So it allows me to do something we really love and share with those around us. If this type of crafting interests you, I'll put a link to this paper line as well in the description box below. Now, to create these beauties, I recommend you use a large paper clip like these. And I'm using this paper from Grabby. The length is actually perfect. This tab is a little over 1.5 inches, so I'll cut 2 strips of the paper that are 1 inch in width. And then the length should be it should be 5.5 inches, so you get full coverage over the tab. Now what you want to do is take the large side of the paper clip and slide it over the printed part of the page. You want to glue down the other side, the smaller side of the paper clip. And then you fold that over and cut the excess paper off. Then you slip the next piece of paper like this on the other side under the large portion of the paper clip. Then you glue it down. And then you fold it over just like this. And adhere this portion to this side. See how it perfectly lines up? That's why I recommend the 5.5 length of paper. After that, secure the tabs to the paper clip tab with double-sided adhesive. I really hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. And if these tabs sparked your creativity in any way and are interested in making some of these neat scrapbook journals, I'll put a link to the playlist to create these scrapbook journals right here. So take care, and we'll see you in those videos. Bye!